So for a rare change, Lord Blankfein says something that was entirely true and fairly well representative of the American people. What? Now, of course, he's the CEO of Goldman Sachs. Here's what he said. This country does a great job of creating wealth, but not a great job of distributing it. Now, that's actually incredibly true, and I think he actually did mean it in the way that you suspect, that most of the wealth goes to the top 1%, and it's not a great way of allocating according to productivity. Now, let me prove that to you through graphs that Lord Blankfein, of course, did not present, but that prove his point. Now, look, a lot of the money goes to people like Goldman Sachs and Lord Blankfein, but give him credit for being honest there. Here, let me show you an amazing chart. This is a real GDP per worker, all right? So that's the GDP we've created, not overall since the beginning of this century, or the last century, but per worker. So our productivity is sky high and constantly and consistently going up. Great job, American workers. So obviously, you got the fruits of that, right? Wrong. Now let me show you my favorite chart of all time, because it shows you exactly what happened. Now, in reality, it had been going pretty well until about 1979, and productivity had been charting pretty close to median wages. But as you see there, starting in 1979, there's one particular group that takes off like a rocket. The top 1% have their income and their wealth, but in this particular case, the income rise by 277%. The rest of us, not so much. We flatline. Now, there's a tiny bit of improvement through those years, but the great majority of the money goes to the top 1%. Now, we didn't get the rewards of our labor because we do a terrible job at income distribution. So when you hear Republicans saying, liberals want to redistribute your wealth, it's, as always, projection. What they're saying is, we like redistributing the wealth, and we like redistributing it to the top. You should have gotten paid a lot more for the great job that you did in all those years. But that money instead went to the top 1%. By the way, how did they do it? Now, that's the part Lord Blankfein doesn't tell you. They did it by setting the rules in their favor. So you lower the estate tax, all of a sudden, Paris Hilton, who's in the top 1%, gets a lot more money from Conrad Hilton, who's her grandfather who earned the money. Paris Hilton didn't earn the money, as you can see, on a nightly basis, or you did back when she was popular. Who's seen Paris Hilton lately? Anyway, but she still got all that money. They do it by lowering this thing called carried interest. It's ridiculous. So the top earners in the country wind up paying less in taxes than the average American. It's an outrage. The only reason they get away with it is because we don't have a functioning democracy anymore. The workers who had that productivity don't get to reap the fruits of it because their representatives don't represent them. They represent their donors. The guys with more money win 95% of congressional elections. Who do you think they're gonna serve? They're gonna serve the 1% who gave them those donations, who handed those elections to them. That's why things changed. And I know, and I've said it before to you, in 76 and 78, two Supreme Court decisions changed the entire tenor of the country. Those decisions said that corporations have First Amendment rights and they could spend money in politics. And spend they did, and it was the best money they ever spent. That's why you see those charts. And those charts are a real redistribution of wealth from the guys who created that wealth to the top 1%. The biggest trick they ever did was buying off our democracy. Now look, we're trying to regain that through a pact we did to fight all the other pacts. It's called Wolf Pack. If we concentrate all of our energy and our resources towards that one goal, if you disperse your energy and you're trying to fight them on oil or banking or the environment, all these different issues, they're going to clobber you with money, as they have for all these decades. But if you focus all of your energy on their one Achilles heel, you say we can raise unlimited money? Well, two can play at that game. Yes, you can raise it for all those different issues. We're going to raise it for one issue. And we're going to do it from the American people. And we're going to fight back. Because we've got to change those charts. Those charts are a great injustice. And even the CEO of Goldman Sachs recognizes that. wolf-pack.com. If you haven't checked it out, go to the website, become a member so that you could be part of the people who helped fix this. Every generation of Americans has passed an amendment to make our Constitution and our democracy and our republic a more perfect union. You know the one generation that has it? Us. But we can change that. wolf-pack.com, become a member.